Welcome to Hike Over the Hill. It is Jedi coming to you from AT Preparation Headquarters, also known as my basement, here in the thriving metropolis of Rochester, New York. Today's episode, I want to talk to you about resupply boxes. Now, I've already mentioned resupply boxes in a couple other episodes. My episode where I was preparing my food and talking about my resupply plan. And then I also shot an episode talking about how to save 50% or more on your postage costs when shipping supplies to yourself. I'm not going to go over that stuff again. I'm just going to talk about anatomy of a resupply box, what's in it, and what is a resupply box. So let's first talk about that. Then I'll bring up one of my resupply boxes and I'll go through everything that's going to be in that box and give you some ideas. So maybe you're new to backpacking, or maybe you've been backpacking but you've never gone on a through hike of any length where you have to resupply on the trail. Maybe you've just been on short hikes like I've been on. I've only been on week-long trips, so I could always bring all my stuff that I need for that whole week. I've never had to resupply during a trip. So, or maybe you've heard the term resupply box, but you're not really sure what it is and how it works and what it's for. So here's the idea. On a hike like the Appalachian Trail, which can take on average 5, 6, sometimes 7 months, you're going to have to resupply, obviously. You can't carry that much of anything, really. So you're going to have to resupply along the way. Now, there's a couple different ways to do this. One way is to not send yourself any resupply boxes. Just literally buy stuff along the way in the towns that you're going to pass through or pass near along the way. That's a perfectly legitimate way to do it. Some people do it that way. They don't want to have to hassle with having boxes shipped to them and have to go pick them up at the post office or at the hostel or the outfitter or wherever they're shipping them to. That's fine if you want to do it that way. That's great. I'm shipping myself resupply boxes. I'm going to ship myself about an average of once a week. And the reason is all of my dinners are being shipped to myself. I've already prepackaged and vacuum sealed all my dinners because I'm vegetarian and I want a good healthy meal for dinner. I don't want to just eat ramen and nut butters and bread and crackers and trail mix and nuts and seeds. And that's going to get old real fast. Protein bars. That's going to get old real fast. And not healthy either, to not have that good variety of food. So I'm sending myself or having my wife send me my dinners along the way. In addition to that, there's other things I'm going to be using up along the way, obviously, right? And we'll talk about that when I go through the box. Or just things I need periodically on the trail every so often. So I bought myself 25 of these boxes, and I showed this before in the episode where I talked about how to save on postage. These boxes, just so you know, I'll pull the lids close. These are 12 inches by 8 inches by 5 inches. 12 by 8 by 5. And I've got stuff all over it, and I'll kind of explain that before I talk about the content. So, on the top of the box, this is the part where the address is going to go. I've got a few things going on. I've covered some stuff up with electrical tape, just because it's got like address and phone number and names and stuff. So as you can see, starting up here, that's the return address. That'll be my wife's name and our home address and her phone number also. That's another thing. Put your phone number or someone's phone number on the return address label and also on your ETA sticker. Now we'll get to that in a second. Over here I've got a fragile sticker. I bought a roll of these on eBay. I got a whole roll of fragile stickers. I put that on there. There's not really going to be anything fragile per se in my bounce, or I should say resupply box. Bounce box is a different issue. We'll talk about that in another episode. But, I just, for peace of mind, maybe the postal workers will be a little bit easier on your box. I don't know. Down here, I have a priority mail sticker. Now, these are obviously just plain cardboard boxes. So you can order from the post office. You can order rolls of, upside down. Priority mail stickers. You can get these in 250 or 1,000 count, and they're free. So just order a roll of 250 or 1,000 if you want, whatever you think you're going to need. And I've plastered one of these on all the sides. Okay, you can see that all the sides. I didn't put one on the bottom though. So on the top and on the 4 sides, I have the priority mail sticker to make it clear that this is priority mail, because I will be shipping these priority mail. And then right here I have, as you can see, I'll hold it up there. Please hold for AT Hiker, and then it's my name, and then ETA, and you can see there's a date. So it's // 2022. So when my wife goes to send these to me, I'll tell her, I'll say, hey, can you have my next box sent to this address and give it this ETA date, and she'll write the date on there so that the post office or whoever, the hostel, the motel, the outfitter, whoever I'm sending these boxes to, where I'm going to pick them up, they will know approximately when I'm going to be there. And before I forget, you don't have to ship these to a post office box. I mean, if you're not planning on staying in town and there's no business that accepts packages, then yeah, you'll have to go to the post office. But post offices are kind of wonky, especially in small towns. The hours are limited. Might be tough to get to the post office from the trailhead, depending on how far away it is. So a lot of hostels will allow you to ship packages there, especially if you're staying there. If you're not staying there, they sometimes either won't accept your package, or they'll charge you, $3, $4, $5 or something to hold it for you. But I'm planning on staying in a hostel on average once a week. Hostel, motel, something, some sort of lodging, so I can get a shower, I can do my laundry, I can get a good night's sleep in a warm, dry, soft bed, and I can do my resupply for other things, my breakfast, my lunch, and my snacks, because again, I'm only shipping dinners to myself. I need to resupply with everything else. But that stuff should be easy to find in small towns and small convenience stores, gas stations, the stuff that you just munch on for breakfast, lunch, and snacks. So in addition to the stuff I just showed you on the top, you'll notice on the sides, there's my other ETA. That's a good idea, by the way, to put 2 ETA stickers, one on top and one on the front, just because you don't know how the box is going to be sitting on a shelf. It's going to be sitting this way or this way. And plus if one falls off, you got the extra one on there. But you'll notice above the priority mail stickers, I got a little smiley face there with sunglasses on, pair of shades, right? Looking pretty cool. And on the bottom here, I just basically printed out 3 of these smiley faces on the same address labels, these fluorescent yellow address labels that I did the ETA sticker on. So I printed 3 smiley faces, then I just cut them in strips and slapped them in the box. That's just to help identify the box, so that if I get to a post office or an outfitter or a hostel or wherever, and they're like, yeah, there's a whole wall of boxes stacked up over here, I can just scan through them and go, there's mine, right away, just because I know that there's a yellow sticker of some kind on every side, so I should be able to spot it quickly. And if I go to the post office, let's say I have to ship it to a post office, I can tell them, my box has my name on it, give them my name. It says ETA this time, and it has a yellow sticker on each side, either an ETA sticker or a little smiley face with the sunglasses on. Just makes my box easier to identify for both myself and whoever's holding it for me. So that's enough about the box itself. Oh, one last thing. If you're going to ship yourself the boxes, you don't want to do the plain boxes like I do. You're going to do the priority mail boxes. You can see I got the little smiley face sticker on there. You still put the ETA sticker on there. You do not obviously need to put the priority mail sticker because it's a priority mail box. It says priority mail all over it. So don't need to waste time with those. But do have the ETA sticker, and you may want to do some kind of unique identifying sticker like that so you know your box as soon as you see it. So let's get inside and see what I've got, what kind of goodies I got in my resupply box. Ooh boy. So first we'll start off with the big bag. I put everything in. I just put them in this bag to keep it organized. This big bag, as you can see, I've written trash right there. So this will be my replacement trash bag, this 1 gallon Ziploc bag, because your trash bag gets nasty. When you get to town, you're going to want to chuck that thing, find the nearest dumpster or trash barrel. So this will become my new trash bag for the next leg of my trip. So let's go through this one thing at a time. What have I got in here? Oh, look at this. I've got pages of a book. Now, this is the book Dune, part of it anyway. So I bought the book Dune because I always wanted to read it. The movie came out this year, and I'm like, I should read this. It'll be good to read it on the trail, or when I'm at a hostel, or when I'm waiting for my laundry or something. I could read a few pages, or at night in my tent, wherever. So I took Dune, the paperback, and some of you book lovers will cringe at this, but I did what's called, I debinded it or debound it. And you can find videos online on how to do this on YouTube, in fact. You can debind it. You can take the binding apart, basically. And that's what I did. And then I broke it up into like 25 to 30 page sections, depending on where the chapters broke off. And then I attached a bobby pin. It's a little bobby pin right there. Because these come in handy on the trail. You can use a bobby pin as a clothespin. If you've got your clothes are wet, or maybe you You washed them, you want to hang them up and dry them. You string out a paracord between two trees, and you use a bobby pin like clothespins. So they weigh next to nothing, and they're kind of handy on the trail. So every little bundle of dune has a bobby pin to hold it together that I can then use. And if I don't need them, I can throw them in a hiker box for someone else. So another thing I got in here, I got 2 plastic bags. I have a quart size and a snack size. That's just to replace any bags that I have that are getting grungy or that maybe have split, or the little seal here isn't working so good anymore. These are just for replacing existing bags that I'm using for other things in my pack. Next up, I have 2 bundles of tissues, and I've actually labeled them tissues to make it clear that these are not toilet paper. These are Kleenex. I have allergies, and usually when it's cold out in the morning, my nose gets a little runny, and I always feel like I don't have enough tissues on the trail. And yeah, I know you can buy tissues wherever, but think about this. You get to a store in town, what are you going to do? Buy a giant box of Kleenex? You're not going to carry, 200 tissues with you. So I just broke them up ahead of time, and I threw a couple bundles there into each of my resupply boxes. One last thing I forgot to mention on the box. I wrote the number 5. You might have noticed that. See the number 5 right there on the flap? I numbered all my boxes, all 25 of them, because I want my wife to send them to me in order. Why? Well, because of the first thing I showed you. I'm sending myself pages of a book. I want the book to be in order when I read it, right? I don't want to have a construct your own, fantasy book. That would be crazy. So, next thing I got, 10 wipes. I actually labeled those wipes as well, so I know that these are not the tissues, just to make it clear what I'm looking at. These are the baby wipes. I talked about baby wipes in another episode. These are bamboo fiber, all natural, hypoallergenic, biodegradable, etc. Yada yada. Next up, I have, and you're gonna laugh at this one. You're gonna laugh at this. I know what it looks like. Feminine hygiene products, right? No, this is toilet paper. And I roll them up in these little tubes. In fact, let me show you quick what I do. And you're going to think, this guy's got way too much time on his hands. But not really. You can do this while you're watching TV, during commercials, or while you're watching the game. There's a timeout or whatever. This is really easy to do. You don't even have to look at what you're doing. So I've got here a length of toilet paper, 4 squares, right? I counted out 4 squares. And I have here a pencil, unsharpened pencil. You just need a little tube to roll it around. So you just take the toilet paper and you just go like this. And you just roll it right around the pencil, and I'm not doing this perfectly, and then you slide the pencil out, and you get yourself a little roll of toilet paper, right? And then you throw that in your little snack bag, and I'll tell you, I know it sounds crazy, but the convenience factor is amazing on this, because you can just open your bag and say, I'm going out to the woods to do my business. You grab 2 of these little tubes, and you're off and running. You keep everything in plastic bags so it all stays dry. You don't want your toilet paper getting wet. And also there are 7 bundles in each of these. So if I send myself 2 bundles, that's 14. That's enough for 2 per day if I'm gone for a week between towns. So I get 2 little 4 square lengths of toilet paper and a wipe each time I use it. Hopefully that'll be enough. All right, moving right along. I have a little baggie here I labeled booties. Now, this is another thing you're going to be like, this guy's just bizarre. What is he doing? He's crazy. That's a big waste. All right, so the issue with camp shoes. I struggle with camp shoes. I've tried water shoes and different things for camp, and I have another pair of lightweight sandals. I'll show you in another episode when I get to clothing and footwear. But I thought, geez, I hate carrying a pair of shoes just for in town or just for the occasional water crossing if there is one. You might go days or weeks without a water crossing where you get your feet wet. So I thought, well, how can I keep my feet dry in camp without carrying an extra pair of shoes? So I thought, well, geez, I get to camp. Let's say my shoes are wet and muddy, and I get to camp. Okay, I could take my shoes off and my socks, and then, dry my feet, clean my feet off, get them nice and dry. Take a clean pair of socks from my backpack, maybe the socks I'm going to sleep in, whatever. Put those on, right? So now I've got clean, dry feet, clean, dry sock. Then, before I put my shoes, my wet, muddy shoes back on, I can take one of these. These are actually booty-shaped bags. It's shaped like a foot. See that? These, I never knew these existed, but I started Googling thinking, geez, there's got to be something. And the reason I Googled was because I heard that in camp, some people do just what I just described, clean and dry your feet, put on clean, dry socks, and then slip their feet into bread bag, like the bag that a loaf of bread comes in. I thought, well, that's a good idea, but bread bags aren't really designed for your feet. These are, obviously. They're foot-shaped baggies. These are used, I didn't know these existed, these are used apparently at spas and salons where women do paraffin treatment. So they dip their feet in the paraffin, and then they stick their feet in these booties, and this keeps the warmth in there and the moisture, and helps to soften their feet, I guess. So I thought, this is perfect. I'll put a couple. They weigh like nothing. I mean, it's a little thin baggie. I'll put them in. I'll try them out. We'll see what happens. But and I know your foot would kind of sweat. It's not going to breathe with this on. But I'm just going to have them on long enough to do what I need to do. Get my water. Get my tent set up. Get dinner cooking. And then eventually, just take the shoes off and these bags off and get in my tent and call it a night. So anyway, that's what that's all about. It's an experiment. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Might be stupid. Now, the other reason I numbered the boxes is because I'm not sending the same thing in every single box necessarily. For instance, I have in here a KN95 mask, right? So if I go to a place of business that requires masks, I have a fresh mask every 5 boxes. So I'll take a mask with me when I head out on the trail. Then every 5th box, or roughly every 5 weeks or so, 4 to 5 weeks, I'll have a fresh mask, and I can replace my old mask because these get grungy. You've been breathing on them, and they just the straps will break and whatnot. So that's what that's all about. Here I have something. These are Xylitol Mints. Okay. Now I chew xylitol gum during the day, throughout the day, 5-6 pieces at least a day, because of periodontal issues I have. Xylitol, in case you didn't know, is very good for your oral health. I'm not sure how it works exactly. I think the bacteria in your mouth, they like sugar, right? That's why sugar is bad for your teeth. The bacteria like sugar, and they see xylitol as a form of sugar, which it is, but it's a form of sugar they can't utilize. So they eat it, and they essentially starve to death. They can't multiply anymore. So it prevents the bacteria from really building up in your mouth. And I swear by it. I don't want to chew gum on the trail, of course, because if I'm chewing 5 or 6 pieces a day, that's 30, 40 pieces a week. I don't want 30 or 40 pieces of used gum in my trash bag. That's just more weight I'm carrying. That's sticky and gross. So these are mints. Each one has, I believe, 20 mints in it. So I have 40 here. So that's enough for, about 6 a day. Each of them is 1.1 grams of xylitol. And I will, every time I eat something, every time I brush my teeth, I will take one of these and just kind of let it slowly dissolve in my mouth. And hopefully that'll help stave off any periodontal issues I might have on the trail. So next up I have my energy drinks. So you've probably heard of these. I'll hold one up so you can see. It's that 4C energy drink. There's citrus, there's berry, and they make an orange flavor as well. So I got 8 of these in here. That's my coffee. I don't drink coffee, so this is my pick-me-up in the morning. I like to drink a liter of water before I leave camp, so I dump this into a liter container of water and shake it up, and I just drink that as my little boost, a little pick-me-up in the morning. I also have 4 cotton swabs. I didn't bundle these up. They're just kind of floating around in there for typical, just plain old Q-tip cotton swabs, because I'm picking this up in a town. I'm typically going to be staying at a hostel or a motel or somewhere when I'm in town getting my resupply box, spending the night, getting a shower and whatnot. And I like a swab after I shower, kind of clean my ears out. All right, next thing is also talking about ears. I have a little tiny baggie with earplugs because I'm a light sleeper. So if I'm in a hostel and I'm in a bunk room and people are snoring, or if I'm sleeping, in the shelter or near the shelter or in a tent next to someone else who's in another tent but they're snoring, these will help keep things a little quieter for me. And also just the sounds of the forest at night are very distracting, I find. So I just like to kind of cut myself off from all those sounds so I can sleep. The next thing is I have a little rectangle of carpet tape. If you saw my episode where I talked about how I'm sleeping out on our sun porch to get used to sleeping in the cold, because it's winter time right now and it gets down into the teens down there in that sunroom sometimes. It's uninsulated. I put these little strips on my sleeping pad because I wanted to see if this would help keep it from sliding around on the tent floor. So far, mixed results, but not bad. So I figured these aren't really designed for that, and they may peel off. So if one of them falls off, I've got an extra in each of my Resupply boxes, and I can replace it. Next to last is a little roll of gauze. This is gauze that I use for flossing the back of my teeth. I told you I had some periodontal issues. My periodontist recommended, because you can't get back behind your molars real good with a piece of floss, and it's hard to get your toothbrush back there. I buy these little squares of unwoven gauze, cotton gauze, and I cut it into 4 strips. And then I rolled them up in here. So this is, I think, 8 strips. Again, weighs almost nothing. And I use that and I floss the back of my teeth, all 4 molars. So anyway, it's an effective way to floss. It's working for me so far. And last but not least is a little surprise for you, a little reward for you for watching this long. I had these custom made. In fact, let me take the rubber band off so you can read it a little better. I had these custom made. I'll just hold one up. I had these custom made for this trip, and it says Appalachian Trail, class of 2022. It's backwards because it's a temporary tattoo, and of course the AT symbol in the middle. It's a temporary tattoo. I will be handing these out, but I'll be playing a game called Appalachian Trivia. So you'll have to answer a question correctly, something to do about the Appalachian Trail. If you answer correctly, you get a temporary tattoo as your prize. Those things weigh half a gram each, so it's not gonna break your back, weigh you down. Yeah, so it'll be fun. We'll be playing a little game on the trail, and everyone's a winner, by the way. So you know, if you get it wrong, you're gonna get another chance. You can ask for hints and stuff like that. So believe me, you're gonna get a tattoo. So if you see me out there, flag me down. You know what I look like now. My backpack is orange, a bright orange. I think it's called autumn orange or something like that. It's a Z-Packs Arcol Zip backpack. So hey, if you see me or if you see my name in the registers and you say, oh, he's only a day ahead of me, maybe you'll catch up to me. Maybe you'll see me in town. I'm going kind of slow. I'm on the 7-month schedule, so it's not going to be hard to catch up to me. Trust me. So if you do see me, just flag me down, and we'll play a game of Appalachian Trivia. You just answer one question correctly, and it'll be an easy one, and you get a temporary tattoo that you can keep as a memento of the trip. It's custom made. It's limited edition. It's a collectible. All right? So thanks for watching. That is my anatomy of a resupply box. I'll see you next time, and I'll do an episode on the bounce box. That's a bit more involved, the bounce box. So we'll talk about that next time. All right, I'm going to see you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.